In a grand auditorium in New York City, the atmosphere is electric as the National Music Talent Competition reaches its peak. Under bright lights, the polished grand piano awaits the next performer. From the wings of the stage, a 14-year-old girl named Mia emerges. She wears dark glasses and carries a white cane, carefully tracing her way forward with gentle taps and soft steps, relying solely on sound and memory. The crowd begins to murmur, surprise and doubt creeping into their voices. "She's blind? Is this a joke?" one person whispers. Among the judges sits Sebastian Klein, a famous and notoriously critical pianist known for his perfectionism and arrogance. Upon seeing Mia, he leans forward with a smirk and scoffs, "If she can't even see the keys, how will she play them?" His words draw chuckles from parts of the crowd, adding weight to the tension already thick in the air. Mia hears it all. The doubt. The laughter. The judgment. For a moment, her hands tremble at her sides, her confidence shaken. But then she closes her eyes, ironically, her natural state, and breathes deeply. Steadying herself with quiet grace, she turns and walks slowly but surely toward the piano, the spotlight following her every step. The whispers grow silent. Doubt lingers, but so does curiosity. No one in that room knows what's about to happen. But Mia? She knows exactly what she's come to do. And with every silent footstep, she carries not just talent, but something far more powerful: purpose. As the stage dims, a single spotlight shines down on Mia, now seated alone at the grand piano. The vast auditorium, once buzzing with skepticism, falls into complete silence. The audience watches, unsure of what to expect. Mia takes a deep breath, her small frame composed, her face serene. Then, with a gentle touch, her fingers rise above the keys, and descend like a whisper. She begins to play. But it's not Mozart. Not Chopin. It's something else. Something original. Her own composition. The melody flows, fragile yet powerful, echoing a story only she can tell. It speaks of loneliness, of strength, of a world navigated in darkness and sound. Each note tugs at the soul, revealing a depth far beyond her years. By the second note, the audience no longer sees a blind girl. They see an artist. By the middle of the piece, eyes are wide, mouth slightly parted. And by the final, trembling chord, there are no more whispers. No laughter. Just a rising wave of applause, followed by a standing ovation. In the front row, a mother wipes tears from her cheeks. She isn't the only one. Something in the music has moved them all. At the judges' table, Sebastian Klein remains seated. His hands don't move. But his expression softens. His eyes, once sharp with arrogance, now flicker with something else, something almost like respect. He doesn't speak. But inside, he knows what everyone else just realized. This girl didn't just play music. She told the truth. Backstage, the bright stage lights are replaced by dim hallway bulbs and the soft hum of distant applause. Mia sits on a bench, her cane resting across her lap like a worn companion. The adrenaline from her performance fades, replaced by a quiet vulnerability. A single tear rolls down her cheek, not from sadness, but release. She did it. She told her truth. Suddenly, the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps echoes down the corridor. She doesn't turn. She doesn't need to. "Where did you learn that?" The voice is unmistakable, Sebastian Klein. But it's stripped of its usual sharpness. No stage persona. No pretense. Just a man. Mia doesn't hesitate. "From life," she says softly. "From being invisible." Her words hang in the air, powerful in their simplicity. Sebastian approaches and lowers himself to one knee beside her. For a moment, he says nothing. Then, quietly, almost as if confessing, he speaks. I was wrong. That wasn't music. That was a story. Gone is the smug maestro. In his place stands someone changed. Someone humbled. His voice, once commanding, is now gentle, raw with honesty. Mia doesn't gloat. She doesn't need to. The silence between them speaks volumes. In that moment, two worlds collide, not as judge and contestant, not as famous pianist and blind girl, but as two artists. One who thought he had seen everything, and one who taught him how to truly listen. The night of the National Talent Show finale arrives, broadcast live to millions across the country. The stage glows under golden lights. Anticipation buzzes in the air. Viewers wait for the final act, unaware of what's coming. The host steps forward, a twinkle of excitement in his eyes. Tonight's surprise performance. Sebastian Klein and Mia. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Cameras zoom in. The audience, and the world, leans in. Mia walks onto the stage, hand in hand with the man who once doubted her. She finds her seat at the piano. Sebastian takes the bench beside her. They nod, not to each other, but to the music. The duet begins. Sebastian's notes are bold and structured, his signature style. Mia follows, weaving delicate emotion into the framework he lays down. Their contrast is stunning, precision meets passion, mastery meets raw truth. Then, without warning, midway through the piece, Sebastian lifts his hands and steps back. All eyes turn to Mia. She doesn't flinch. She breathes. And plays. Alone, she carries the melody to a new place, softer, deeper, more human. Her final note stretches into the silence like a whisper from the soul. A beat of stillness. Then, roaring applause. People rise. Some cry. Millions at home feel something they can't explain. Mia smiles gently, her fingers resting on the keys. Beside her, Sebastian claps the loudest. Not for her talent, but for her truth. And the world finally sees her not as a blind girl, but as a brilliant light. A year has passed, and in a bright, sunlit room filled with warmth and soft music, a new chapter begins. A sleek grand piano gleams in the corner of a music school, one built specifically for visually impaired children. Laughter and melody echo through the halls. At the front of the room sits Mia, now 15, guiding a young blind girl's hands across the piano keys. Her voice is patient, gentle, full of encouragement. She is no longer the uncertain girl backstage, she is a mentor, a leader, an inspiration. A small plaque on the wall catches the light. Donated by Sebastian Klein and Mia Carter, proof that vision isn't always seen. Sebastian visits often now, not as a celebrity, but as a friend and supporter. During one visit, a reporter asks him why he keeps coming back. He doesn't hesitate. Because she showed me how to listen. His voice, once sharp and arrogant, now carries humility and gratitude. And Mia? She simply smiles. The world no longer defines her by what she cannot see. Her music has reshaped perceptions, opened doors, and inspired countless others to believe in what lies beneath the surface. In this place, there are no whispers. No judgment. Only the sound of young dreams taking flight. And the gentle, powerful reminder that sometimes, the clearest vision comes from within.